Our schools are meant to be safe havens for learning and growth, but we know they can also be where bullying, anxiety, and social isolation often take place. That's why it's crucial to transform our classrooms into places of support and kindness. Our next guest is building that reality from the ground up. Let's welcome Christy Krings, CEO of the nonprofit organization Rachel's Challenge. Christy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so Christy, as students return to the classroom, what strategies or tools can help them navigate difficult or even unsafe situations at school?
It depends on the situation, but let's take bullying as an example. So, something we talk a lot about with kids is the importance of empathy and understanding that if someone is acting like a bully, that may be because they're afraid or they're insecure, or they're going through a hard time or they're isolated. And that foundation of empathy, it's never meant to excuse bad behavior or unsafe behavior, but it does help keep victims of bullying safe because empathy is inherently empowering, and it's paradoxical, but once kids realize it's not about them and that hurt people, that helps keep kids psychologically safe from the depression and anxiety that can result as being a victim of bullying or seeing bullying happening to them. And from there, from that foundation, we can move into all kinds of strategies, like knowing how best to reach out to victims of bullying, how to stop it, when it's appropriate to resolve conflict on their own, and when to discern to bring in an adult. But
And
that
what
empathy
should,
and empowerment, those are core to the safety strategy.
yes, and what would you say, what should students, parents, or even teachers do if they witness verbal or emotional or other forms of bullying that are happening?
We remind students and adults that when you're a bystander, when you see it happen, you should do something and then teach them the safest way to help. So that could be checking in with the student being targeted. It could mean documenting what's happening. It could mean bringing in a trusted adult, but even small acts of support can interrupt that cycle and make a huge difference. Otherwise, silence unintentionally sends the message that harmful behavior is okay and it can spread.
Yes, and how can schools and families create environments where students do feel safer and more supported and connected to their peers?
Having connection at the forefront of any school safety strategy is getting to the root causes of any problems in the school. So, young people are in the midst of an epidemic of loneliness. A safer environment is an environment where they feel connected to each other, to healthy adults, and to their future possible selves. The best way, in our opinion, to create connectedness in an environment is through systemic, structured, and focused kindness and compassion initiatives. Kindness and compassion are nothing if not life hacks for creating positive connection in our lives and in our culture. And when a school does that from the top down, they really send the message that kindness and compassion are at the forefront of their culture, and it spreads the message about what is tolerated and positive behavior follows.
And how does Rachel's Challenge help prevent bullying and promote a positive school culture before problems escalate?
Rachel's Challenge really is a preventative program. We prevent hundreds of youth suicides a year. We've prevented 9 school shootings as corroborated by law enforcement, and anecdotally many more. And we do that by getting to the common root causes of youth mental health crisis that we find kids in right now, which is disconnection, isolation, silence, hopelessness, disempowerment. We help students deeply connect to each other. And it's hard to be mean to people that you know and you understand. We help them have empathy for one another. We set a tone and a very clear message that kindness and compassion are the way to do it. We do that through powerful school assembly programs that teach all of those things, that model kindness. And then we start 4 clubs in every school we go to. And those clubs are helping students feel empowered to do something positive, to change their lives and the lives of others for better and do it all together.
Well, and like you said, I mean, kindness truly does go a very long way. What's your vision for the next steps schools can take to support students effectively?
Schools focused on culture as much as they are on academic performance, that's the vision. And if they do that, if schools do that, academics will improve, attendance will improve, teacher job satisfaction will improve, parents will be happier, and it will improve student mental health.
Perfect. Christy, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. And to our viewers, our classrooms should be a place where building schools where kindness is the norm. You can find out more by heading to rachelschallenge.org.